If you want to send beautiful emails, run an automatic and efficient digital product business, and never have to look at a line of code, this video is for you. In today's videos, we're going to talk about how to style a beautiful Kajabi email without ever looking at a line of code. I'm going to show you exactly how I create our newsletters using the built-in design software that Kajabi has created in their email marketing platform. If you're new to my channel, I'm Megan, and I'm so glad you're here. I help creatives and service-based business owners turn what they love, what they know, and what they do into a digital product that you can sell online and start earning passive income. I've built my entire digital product business on Kajabi and recently moved from ConvertKit to Kajabi to house our email marketing. We really wanted to simplify our entire business and move as much as we can into the Kajabi house to cut out the middlemen and make our business run more efficiently and smoother for our customers. You'll see how I create headers, sections, style my emails with fonts and colors, optimize images to look good on any device, and how to brand your email so that way when you send a newsletter or a sequence or a promotion, it's all going to be easily recognizable for your brand and your voice. Let's dive in. Okay, let's dive into how to design a beautiful email using Kajabi's email builder. Under marketing and email campaigns, on the top right, you're going to see this blue button that says new email campaign. You're going to click on that. Now, it doesn't matter if you want to create an email sequence or a broadcast, it works the same, but I'm going to show you how to do an email broadcast. This is a single email you're going to send out to your list or at least a segment of your list. And I'm going to also show you how to turn this broadcast into a template that you can use for both sequences and future broadcasts. So let's hit continue. These are templates that I've already created in my own business. So I'm going to show you how to do that after you style your email the way you like. These are some templates underneath that Kajabi has built out. Let's dive into how to design a beautiful email using Kajabi's email builder. Under marketing and email campaigns, on the top right, you're going to see this blue button that says new email campaign. You're going to click on that. It doesn't matter if you want to create an email sequence or a broadcast, it works the same, but I'm going to show you how to do an email broadcast. This is a single email you're going to send out to your list or at least a segment of your list. And I'm going to also show you how to turn this broadcast into a template that you can use for both sequences and future broadcasts. So let's hit continue. These are templates that I've already created in my own business. I'm going to show you how to do that after you style your email the way you like. These are some templates underneath that Kajabi has built out. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to select this first Kajabi template, the simple text. It's a classic text-focused template that's perfect for long-form messages. We're going to really build this whole thing out, but this is a great starter template. So we're going to hit get started. I'm going to say new email broadcast. This is whatever you want to call your email. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be the final subject line you use. Just put a name in here. First things first, it's going to ask you to select your recipients. So of course you can create custom segments here based on if you want to send an email to your product purchasers or a certain tag or a segment, you can work through all of that. For now, I'm just going to teach you how to design the email. So you're going to go to edit content. This is the name that you just put in the get started. That's your internal title. So title that however you want to be able to track your emails internally. And then you're going to be able to put your subject line here, your preview text. That's the little line of text one underneath the subject line in your email inbox that you see. You can actually choose what that text is going to be here in Kajabi. But what we're going to do is edit this simple text and make it beautiful. So click on that, and this is what you see. This is the Kajabi email builder. I'm going to move my little bubble up here to make it easier. Okay, so right now it's pretty plain. So I'm going to show you exactly how to zhuzh this up. I'm going to go to settings and typography. I'm going to tell you that I don't think that you should try to change the type. Different email inbox platforms like Google or, Yahoo, they don't all support custom fonts. So I actually don't change the font itself. I'm using the Kajabi straight out of the box. And you'll see here it says custom fonts are only supported in modern email clients. I think it's just better and a safer bet to not change the font. Now, you can choose something something different based on your preferences, but for me, I just go straight out of the box fonts that Kajabi already has. Your color scheme, this is where you're going to change your page background and any header or body text colors you want. If you were to look at one of my newsletters on the back end of Kajabi, this is what it looks like. It's kind of hard to see the contrast here in this video, but the background is a very pale pink for ours. The page background, the section background is white. So anytime I have a text or an image there that's showing in the actual body of the email, the background of that is white. And then again, you can see that I use this straight out of the box fonts. I've kind of changed some of the colors around. I'll show you that next. And I've created a template for myself to be able to add images in with some nice spacing, and all of my emails look the same. So let me show you how to do this. On the background, you're going to choose whatever page background you want. You'll see here under my dropdown, I've got all of my brand colors already loaded into Kajabi. And the way that you do this, if you're back on your Kajabi dashboard, under settings right here, you can click that, and site details, click site details, scroll down, and you'll be able to add your colors into the Kajabi builder. That makes my life so much easier when I'm creating emails. So if I want to, make my page background my light pink, I can easily do that and hit save, and it's going to populate. Now you'll see the background is light pink. You can also select your colors right here with this color picker. You can use this to click different shades. You can use this slider to select different shades, or you can put your custom hex colors in, but I found over time it's just easier to have them stored in my site settings. So I'm going to go with my light pink. I'm going to hit save. Now, the header text color, you can change that. I actually don't use the headers in my emails. I'll show you what I do instead. Your body text color, that's going to be whatever color you want your paragraph text to be across the board. I use black. Black is easiest to read for people. It's just like reading a book. So I'd highly suggest that you use a dark color, not a light color. That makes it really hard for people to read your text. It might look more on brand for you, but your emails are meant to inform your subscriber about something important in your business, right? Whether that's a product you have to offer or you're nurturing them for a future product, you want them to actually be able to read your email. So I highly suggest a dark color for your paragraph or your body text. A view in web browser link, that's this link up top here. Now, this is something that I would really suggest you do include in your emails, just in case the email that you send, if it doesn't look right in their email provider. I haven't had this problem with Kajabi, and I haven't seen another Kajabi email that doesn't look right, but just in case somebody's not able to see something correctly, they can click view in web browser. And essentially what that does, it opens the email in a web browser where it looks exactly like it's supposed to look and the way that you have designed it in this builder. Now, you can choose to have the background of this link be the same as your email body copy. I actually have the background my light pink. Again, it's kind of hard to see the contrast colors, but I like to make this link in the background color because it's not a part of the body of my email. So I'm going to go ahead and select that light pink color again, hit save. And again, you can choose the link color you want. I just chose a dark color that coordinates with my brand. I use my navy and hit save again. And now you can see that the background of this is light pink. You can change some of these settings. Say if you want this section to be taller, you could, add some padding up top and some padding down below. So say if I were to hit 30, let's see what happens. It should make this section bigger. See how this now has a little bit more space? You can choose that. I don't edit these settings. I kind of keep them straight out of the box for this top section. You can also choose to hide this if you want. So if you want to hide it on desktop, you can select this button. If you want to hide it on mobile, you can select this checkbox and hit save again, and that would hide it if you want to. So this is essentially the page settings over here on settings. Let's go into the body settings of this email. So what you can do is go down on the left-hand side and click add section. These are all the sections that you can add that are pre-Kajabi built sections, meaning you don't have to look at code to be able to use them. I'm going to show you exactly how I build my email so that you can build a similar style email if you like that. So the first thing I do is I have this header image. So what I'm going to do is select image and add. I just created these email headers in Canva. You can see I have all of my email headers in one easy spot. Let's look at the size of this so you can know. I use the width is 1640 and the height is 500. So you can create in Canva, you can create a custom sized file, and those are I use 1640 by 500. Then I just put an image on here. I put our logo on here. You can put whatever you want. I have different headers for different types of emails. So an email that's going out to my membership, the Digital Lab, it's got its own special email header. An email where I'm sending somebody a website template that they've purchased has its own same website header, but I keep the dimensions of these images all the same. So that way, anytime I'm creating an email, all I have to do is swap the image from whatever template I'm working with. This is the footer image that I use in my email, and I'll show you that in just a few minutes. So let's say we want to select an image. I'm going to upload a new file. I'm going to go to my downloads. I've recently downloaded this image. I'm going to select it and I'm going to open it. You can also select recent files. If you've uploaded this image in the past, you can easily just go to select image and select a recent file to pull from an image you previously had. In my email example, you'll see that my header image is actually the width of the email body. So if you want to do that, what you do is you go to you go to desktop layout, and you're going to, in this case, I'm going to put 800, and I want no padding on the sides. Now you can see that my image is the entire width of the email body. These padding 20 right here, this is the padding on top and padding on bottom. So I'm going to show you what to do with that in just a second. Now on mobile, you'll see this little pop-up that says images will be full width on mobile devices. So what I do is I don't mess with any of the mobile settings. It's automatically rendering it the way that it needs to be seen on a mobile device without it looking, horrible. But with a desktop, you have a lot more flexibility. So I kind of have styled these emails specifically for desktop use. So hit save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit back. And then when you hover over this section, you'll see these two lines right here and a little hand appears. Click that and you can move it to whatever section of this email you want to move it to. Now you'll see up top, now I have a little bit of white space above my image, and that's that padding that I was telling you about. So in this case, I want to put the padding to 0 so that way it is the top of my email, and that's exactly like mine looks like over here. The padding underneath the image is going to essentially make sure that whatever next section you put underneath it is not going to be too close to that section that you are setting. In this case, this image, there's a little bit of padding underneath to just make sure that whatever section comes next is not going to be awkwardly too close. But you may need to play with this a little bit. Like you may need to, I feel like this text right now, for example, is way too far down. So instead of editing this image, I'm going to come edit this text section next. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to desktop layout. And right now you'll see the padding on the desktop is at 50. That just looks too far away. I want there to be a little bit of padding underneath this image. Again, just think padding equals space. I want there to be a little bit of space under this image just to keep breathing room around it, but not so much that it's like awkwardly spaced from each other. So you can easily just edit this and, go to where you feel like it feels comfortable for you. I feel like 10 is a good number here. Again, the image was at 20 automatically. This is now going to be at 10 automatically. And right now there is no space underneath this section. So we can, again, play with that in a little bit if we need to. Now, this is where you're going to edit your text. So on my email, this is this section right here. It says, hey, first name, and then whatever my content starts to look like. What I do, just to let you know, is I don't write my emails in Kajabi. I actually write my emails in Google Drive. I have a file for all of my emails. And so what I do is I copy that content in. And so I know in Google Drive, like where's a text box, and then I'll put an image in the Google Drive file, and then I'll have a text box underneath that. So I know how many sections I need to add to my emails at any given time. What I would suggest if you do create or write your emails in a different platform like Google or say Word document is when you copy that content and you go to paste it in the text box, make sure that when you paste it, you hold down Shift Command if you're on a Mac, or Shift Control if you're on a PC before you put V, which is paste, right? So by hitting Shift and Command or Shift and Control before hitting V to paste your content in, that's going to remove any styling from a third-party software like Google or Word to make sure that now it's really clean code. There's no extra styling coming in from some other platform, and now Kajabi is in charge of all of the details. If you paste in content from a third-party builder and it looks absolutely wild and none of it's making sense and you can't edit things, it's because you pasted it in with styling from a different software. So make sure you hit Shift Command or Shift Control before you hit V. What I do, instead of using Kajabi headers and footer, or like headers and different styles, I just use the paragraph text and make it larger or smaller depending on what I'm doing. So say I want to, this is a paragraph, and say I want to add this is a section heading. All I'll do is I'll highlight this. I'll toggle up here to where it says 16, and then I'll use a larger font size to create a heading. And then under my text colors, I'll choose whatever color I want. If you read my emails, you might see that I use lots of different colors in my emails to try to, grab attention in different ways. So for example, this is a pink line of text. This is a green line of text. I've had emails where I've got different color headings depending on what I'm talking about. This is why I don't use the heading settings under settings, because I want to be able to have the flexibility to make my headings look like I want depending on what type of content I'm creating. So maybe I want this heading to be pink, and maybe I want it to be bold. So I'll hit save, and now here's this heading. So I'm creating headings within my emails, but I'm doing it myself with paragraph copy and styling it myself. That way I have a lot of flexibility on how this email looks. So let me look. This is another heading. So I will typically keep the consistency and sizes. So if I did 21 for one heading, I'll typically do 21 for another heading, unless it's like a subheading. So maybe this section heading is like the full umbrella section, and maybe I've got points within this section that I want to make. So in that case, I will choose a smaller size, and then maybe I'll choose a different color for like subheadings. And then you've got a smaller heading. Okay, you can do this again. You can copy and paste this content if that's easier, and you can easily change the colors to whatever you want it to be. Or you can, make it bold or italic or whatever. Just editing the paragraph copy gives you a lot of flexibility on how the sections of text look within your email. All right, so let's save that. And we're going to leave the padding right now, the spacing on this text box the way it is, and keep editing. If you use that Kajabi template that I started with, it already has a button here. I'm just going to remove that. I don't need that section. Of course, if you want to edit the button, you can just literally click on it. You can choose where you want that to go. You can choose the color of it. You can choose the type, whether you want to outline or solid. You can do border thickness and change that. That's going to matter if you use outline. You can do small, medium, or large. Border radius is how round the button is. So you could, put that to 0 if you want a square button. You can align the button where you want it to be. So buttons are great if you have a call to action that you want to create, but I'm not using that right now, so I'm going to delete it. In my emails, a lot of people love the way that I section out my emails with dividers. So let me show you how I do that. You go to add section, you're going to go to divider. And right now the divider doesn't look so pretty. Let's edit that to make it look good. The first thing you want to do is select your divider color. So what I've done in my Kajabi settings, I've actually put my divider color as one of my brand colors. I use this light gray. So anytime I create a divider, I choose my divider color under brand settings, hit save, and it's going to look better in just a second. What you can also do is edit the background. So you can actually edit the background section of all of your sections that you add into this email. In this case, I want the background to remain white, to remain cohesive with the rest of my email. And then what you can do, if you want the divider to go from full width, you can just leave it as is. If you look at my emails, my divider is the width of the content that I put into my email. So essentially what I do is I make sure the padding of all of my elements within the body of my email are exactly the same. That way it looks really cohesive through, or as you're scrolling through my emails. So in this case, I'm going to change this divider and I'm going to make the padding 40 on each side and hit save. Now you can see that that the divider is the same width as the text content within this email, and it just looks cohesive. Let's add an image at the bottom. So I have a footer image on all of my emails. It's this Instagram, and it's kind of like a description of what we are as a brand, what we do, and it has a little peek of of a phone with our Instagram and our Instagram handle. Again, I just made this easily in Canva. I use the same dimensions that I use for my header and designed this email footer. So what I'm going to do, again, you can choose a URL. Say this one's going to Instagram, so of course it's going to go to my Instagram. So I'm going to go and copy this link and put it into the URL. The image alt attribute, this is what you want to do in case an image does not load in an email provider, you do want to put an alt attribute. So I'm going to say follow Megan or Jeremy and Megan. In case an image does not load properly, you want this line of text to be able to be descriptive of the image. It's also for people, of course, who need need alt text on a computer to know what an image is if they can't see that image. So definitely make sure you're putting text here that's relevant to the image you are uploading in this alt attribute section. Okay, background. We don't need to change the background. The default is white. Again, if you were making this a different background color, if you wanted this section to be, pink or whatever your brand background is, you can do that. You can create a frame around this image with a background. I'm going to keep it white to be consistent with the rest of my email. Let me download this footer so I have it easily accessible. Now, I'm going to upload a new file. And I can, well, it's not going to work, of course, right now. I'm going to click upload, click my file, hit save. Now what I need to do is just make sure, do I need to edit any of the spacing settings? You'll see here, if you look at my email, the spacing is a little bit closer to the divider. Right now it feels like this is a little bit far away from the divider. So what I'm going to do is click on this image, desktop layout, and let's see what 10 does. Let's see what 0 does. All right, 0 puts it a little bit closer to that divider, which I like. If you wanted the section above it to be perfectly spaced, you could also do the same thing. So you could come to here. This doesn't have any spacing on the bottom, so it's the divider that needs to change in this case. And on the top, I want to make this 10. Let's look at that. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And now this is more evenly spaced, the section above the divider and the section below. So that's how you can see that you can play with padding a little bit on the desktop to make your sections even. Now, one thing you can do on the mobile is edit the padding a little bit on these sections as well. Again, I told you that a lot of times you want to leave the mobile as is, specifically when it comes to image width. The images are going to be displayed on your mobile device in the full width of the browser. That's just the way that most email providers are, but you can work with the padding on a mobile device. Again, you're going to have to play with this a little bit. You're going to have to send test emails to your phone to see what the padding should be in these different sections. But essentially, once you've done this once, you can save this as a template in your Kajabi dashboard. So that way you don't have to continue doing these settings over and over again every time you want to send an email or create an email sequence. I want to show you a few more things here just so you can see. Of course, we've talked about buttons. You can add a logo. You can add your social icons. You can edit all the details of those. You can add images into these emails, like images side by side. You can add image and text. You can add text and text side by side to create text columns. You can add a countdown to this email. So to use a countdown, you have to create what's called an event in your Kajabi dashboard, and you do that here under marketing events. So say if you're doing a live launch. Recently, I launched my course Revenue Ripple. So what you would do is essentially create an event and put a time that event is either going to start or that event is going to end. You just put that time in. And then when you go to put a countdown timer in your email, you can select whatever event that was. And right now it says 0. If it was an actual event that was in the future, it would show you the days, the hours, the minutes, the seconds that are left. And you can edit all of these colors in here. There's so much flexibility that you can do within the Kajabi email editor. So let's go like this. Let's say, yes, we did great. We're going to go back to new email broadcast. This is when we were putting in the subject line and the preview text. What you can do now that you have a newsletter done, you can save this as a template. And this is how I have been able to make email creation in the future so much faster. So when I go to create a new email campaign, what I've done is I save templates anytime I do something that I know is recurring in my business in terms of emails. So say I want to create an email broadcast. If I'm sending an email to my membership, I have emails that go out to my membership every month. At the start of every month, I send an email about what's happening that month. So all I have to do is simply click on a template that I've saved, that I've already built myself, just like we just went through, and I can easily just quickly edit those details right in the Kajabi builder. Or say I have a live launch and I know I'm going to want to flip that live launch into an evergreen funnel. I can save the emails from my live launch. This is an example. I did this with my recent course launch. I can save the emails from the live launch as a template, and then I can quickly go and create a new email campaign or an email sequence. And I can add those emails in quickly, edit the details to change it from a live launch scenario to an evergreen scenario, and set an email funnel up in less than an hour. It makes it so fast. So anytime you are creating an email that you know you're going to use again in the future, a similar template, go ahead and save that as a template in your email builder, so that way you can always access that in the future. So anytime now I create a newsletter, I add new email, or I select new email campaign, and then I'll select email broadcast, and I'll come here to my newsletter template that I've already styled and designed, and use that every single time to make creating my emails fast. If you loved this video, I would love to invite you to try Kajabi for free for 14 days. You can click the link below to explore Kajabi using my affiliate link. And of course, I only share about resources and tools that I use and believe in my business. And I love Kajabi. If you're wondering if Kajabi is really the right fit for you, check out this video that I've got ready for you to watch next. It's the 5 reasons that I use and love Kajabi to create my digital products, even though I know it's not the cheapest platform on the market. Check it out.